foods that heal you. I mean, the foods that I chose, I basically went online and said, what is the perfect foods for humans to eat?
Human consumption. Because
You know,
let's talk about
and I tell you,
GMOs. Do you guys know about GMOs? And GMOs are genetically modified foods. They're foods that are created in a laboratory.
Yeah.
I just found out watching this video this morning, you know, a lot of folks like potato chips. Well, there is, and again, I'm not going to say any brands. Do your research and read what's on the actual ingredients. But there's a new ingredient that was created in the laboratory called olivine, and it's being put in potato chips, and it is cancer. It is cancer causing. And when the FDA got together and there was some lawsuits and all that, do you know they changed the name to Olara? So it's still out there and it's still in the food. So you really got to know what's in your food because it's a lot of genetically modified
well,
food.
let me, I got a story for you. You know, I don't do any bread. I don't do any sugar. My diet is very clean. But I remember my sugar got too low. I tried one of my medications, right? And I said, well, let me just try this other one. My blood went down to like 60. Right, so which is dangerous, you know. High blood or low, it's bad. So I said, let me eat something real quick to bring it back up. The only thing that I saw was some potato chips. And, you know, I love potato chips, right? And I ate it. Man, those things taste funny as hell. They tasted funny as hell. I'm like, I can't believe I used to eat that, but it had a different taste when I ate it before. But now that I had eliminated from my diet when I ate it, it tasted so artificial, you know. So I eat real food. I suggest everybody, if you can, I only say this out of love, you know, really love for you, you know, eat to live, man. You know, this life is too precious. And such a precious gift that was given to us for us to destroy because we choose to eat ridiculously or not real food. I'm not saying don't eat, but at least eat real food, not ones that they manufacture. But that's a good point that you brought up, V. I'm proud of you on that.
Oh, looks like Kenneth has a question. Do you have a question, Kenneth? I see you in the question box.
Oh, you got listen your technology. Go
Hey,
ahead, Kenneth. What's up, man?
Hey, what's up? I was just actually falling in, and I'm just now peeping what's going on. So I got an invite, and I was like, "What's up?" So, what are we talking about today?
No, but see, V will do that. V and Karima will put a man on blast in a heartbeat. I'm gonna tell all men right now. See, you was chilling, and she just bust you live.
No,
you know what I'm saying?
This is my boy Kenneth.
Hey, stay ready though. You know what I'm
Yes,
saying?
You were
there
ready
you go.
because when you came on, you was already in your groove. I was like, does he just sit up like that naturally, chilling like a, you know, pimping? Like I just.
It comes with the territory, man. It comes with the territory.
Well, so we're
it's all
talking
good.
about genetically modified foods and, you know, people not really knowing what they're eating, all the GMOs and stuff that are out there, and really, you know, kind of paying attention to what you're putting in your food.
Eating real food, man. Eating real food and being healthy. You look like you're a pretty fit fella.
You know, I have my slips every once in a while, but I definitely feel like when it comes to all that, we definitely should get back to just more organic concepts. There's a lot going on, a lot of stuff we don't really know much about, and I think it's obvious in the physicality of people as far as generational. You're starting to see a lot more development really early in females.
Yes.
And it's kind of rapid, man.
Yeah.
I've always been a personal fan of agrarianism, growing your own food, and the discipline from that, and the benefits from that. So I really feel like once we kind of get back to that do-it-yourself mentality, a lot of things will change anyway.
You know, and I agree with you because you can't stop the understanding that thousands of years ago they didn't have all these preservatives and stuff in the food, and they were able to create and do things so amazing that we can't even do today. And I'm really upset and mad. I'm really. Oh, hold on. Something happened. Okay, I don't know what's going on. Hold on.
The funniest, first celebration ever.
It's 1 o'clock. They should be calling.
Well, anyway, brother, you hear me, right? Okay, just.
Energy Arena, November 10th through 12th. For tickets and show information, visit SesameStreetLive.com.
Hashtag official Ken Holly. Gotta throw that out there.
Yeah, hold on. You'll be able to throw it out just a second. Go ahead, throw it out.
Okay, I'm sorry,
Say it
man.
again.
We were interrupted by that commercial. It's cool. Say that again, please.
else I need to do to get the job done. Pay your TVs and your movies and everything. You never know when you see your boy currently featured on Star right now. Waiting on that episode to drop. So.
Oh, my man, you on Star? Absolutely. Good job.
Come to that Facebook.
Oh, you're getting a lot of love on the Facebook Live
Hey,
page.
this is WAMR-DB.
I see that, man.
Should be right.
Could you hold on for a second?
Like that, but
Hello?
It is what it is.
It is what it is, and we appreciate you, man. We appreciate you. You know, hit me up, man, because I need some music. So hit our Facebook page and let's friend up.
Okay. All right.
All right, man.
So, Kenneth, we're going to have to let you go because our special guest is coming on. So, we want you to continue to listen, continue to watch. And we've got special guest Ray Lewis Thornton coming to the line right now. And I just want to say hello to my friend Ray. Welcome to the show.
Thanks for asking me to come.
Yes. Well, Ray, I want to introduce you to my friend and partner, Chris B.
Hey, Ray, how are you?
Hey, Chris, how are you?
I'm good. I heard so much. I heard so many good things about you. And such a lovely and wonderful personality I hear that you have. So we're looking forward to talking with you today and sharing your experience with our fans and let us know what's going on. How you feeling today?
I'm good. I'm good. Last Sunday morning.
Awesome. So I want you to first start off by telling your story.
Okay. Okay. So, this is just like everything. Right, every year. Yes, God said, I was diagnosed with HIV when I was 22 years old.
The music now.
5 people, my first 8 years, and Veronica was one of those people who knew during that period of my pregnancy. And when I tested at the age, it became too much to deal with others. I basically was covered because I was dying. I was on the HIV/AIDS timeline. Basically, back then, 3 years to death, once you had made an AIDS diagnosis. And I was basically there. You know, I was on a size 12, with size 8, with size 6, with size 10, with 6. We went on this, you and I were going there for years, even summer, and I kept wearing down the dress down.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I started on it at 10. And so I started to have to work the menstrual cycle. I became kind of depressed. The world began to crumble before my eyes. And I systematically started crying. And someone asked me to speak, and I said no. And they convinced me to call the teacher, and I went to physical school. I spoke and the bell rang and students came back and they kept coming back. And I asked the teacher, why did they sit here and repeat if the book says in the class to hear you speak? And I knew it was what God wanted me to do. And I started speaking locally in Chicago, and 6 months later, I was there asked me to hurry.
Hold on one second, Ray. We're having some technical difficulty. Let me see what's going on. Hold on.
Okay.
You got it? Okay, go ahead.
Susan Taylor heard me speak at a function, and where she was the keynote speaker, and I was the speaker of the award. And as I was walking off the stage, she said, "Can I do a story on you?" And 2 weeks later, she called me and asked me would I be on the cover of Essence magazine, and I said, "Miss Taylor, there's not a black woman in America who wouldn't want to be on the cover of your magazine, but you know something about me. Why did you do it?" She said, "Because I believe you have a story to tell." And then, of course, 23 years later, it has become one of Essence most iconic covers.
Yes.
And it has credited us with changing the face of AIDS for black women in America. And I'm just grateful that God took all my pain and my crazy life and put it to purpose. purpose and good. And that's the sum total of my story.
Yeah, he definitely gave you beauty for ashes. Definitely. Beauty for ashes.
Definitely.
Well, we want you to share because we've got, as you know, Ray lives in Chicago, but I've relocated here to Atlanta. We've got a major problem down here in Atlanta, and people are not realizing how high the HIV rate is going and how people are getting HIV, and I think from ignorance, and I'm not sure, why.
Well, there is first, Atlanta does have a problem. That is the fact. And not only does Atlanta have a problem, but the South has a problem. It's as if the information has come a decade, they're a decade behind on really honest and true information about HIV and AIDS. So we can say from Georgia to Mississippi, and some of the rural areas like in Mississippi are even more hard pressed than some of the urban areas. And so there's a problem. Part of the problem at the top of the scale, I would say part of it is stigma.
Is what?
Stigma and shame. It affects whether people get tested or not get tested. It affects whether people disclose their HIV status. Most people don't want to go get tested because they don't want nobody to know they're infected, and they don't want to be put in a position where they have to disclose their HIV status. So that's the first thing. And then so this vicious cycle keeps happening. About 38% of people infected with HIV are infected by people who didn't know they were infected.
Wow.
And so if we start at that level, if we can break through stigma and stop shaming people around HIV, and what's so remarkable about treatment and care is that if we get a person with HIV into treatment and care and get their viral load down to non-detectable, they can transmit HIV.
Well, another thing that's real interesting is the fact that a few years back, people that were 50 and above, that particular demographic, didn't have the problem or the numbers as far as HIV is concerned. I hear now that number is growing.
Well, we have seen, and it's been a steady kind of growth in the last 8 or 9 years. With the rise of scale of drugs like Viagra, and the rise in the HIV and like most people, honestly, most people think it's somebody other than them. Black folks think it's white folks think it's, nobody wants to believe that my peers, the community that I dwell in, could have HIV, or someone I know or would date would have HIV. And the fact is that senior citizens have. Not just senior citizens, but the 50 to 65, the 65 and older community, they have had to create specific HIV prevention programs in places like Florida and Texas, where you have these huge senior populations. So the fact is that everybody having sex. And with the rise and sale of drugs that help erectile dysfunction with men, we men can do it again, and so they doing it.
No, I didn't mean to laugh.
They are doing it again.
They doing it again. It's like, Jesus.
I don't think that anybody in their community could be affected by HIV. An older person may think that it's someone in a younger community. I have someone that I know, a senior woman who is briefly widowed, and she is dating this guy, and he's exciting, and they ventured off into the sex thing, and she and I have had some candid conversations, just trying to explain to her what puts her at risk, and it's hard to grip,
Well, Well, you know what I think is important is that, especially with those that are 50 plus and over, you know, we just have to think about it. We just need to be cognizant of what we're doing.
And you know what? You're being so politically correct, but what we need to realize is HIV has no boundaries. It doesn't know a color. It doesn't care about gender, and it doesn't care about age. You know, and so the reality is that we, individually and collectively, we need to move beyond the stereotype of who we believe can get HIV and accept that we could get it too, which means we got to change our behavior.
Right, and I'm just saying that we should just be more aware, and you know, not only in wrapping it up. Obviously, we can say that all the time, but it's the right thing to say. And for me personally, that the idea of the one night stand or just being free about it just doesn't exist with me anymore. You know.
It really, you know, honestly, most people aren't affected with HIV that way. It's not a one night stand. It's not about one night stands. Most women are affected by men they consider themselves in a relationship with.
Well, of course, there are so many factors. Yeah, I agree with you. You know, drug use is one. Yeah, but I just think that is yourself about keeping yourself healthy. That's some of the things that one of the things we need to consider along as our health is concerned.
Let me say this. Now in Atlanta, we got a download. My name's Karima.
Oh, I forgot to invite
okay.
Karima. This is Ray.
I got you.
Ray Karima. This is our home girl from Chicago.
That's right.
Karima is Ray. Go ahead.
Southside, Chicago, Marshall.
We went to Evanston. Went to high school.
Y'all were Chicago people then.
Oh, stop it.
Y'all were.
Ask your question.
Okay.
That's where she is now.
Girl, until we move. Okay.
Yeah, she was Inglewood. That's right.
So, okay, but being in Atlanta, you know, I had to shoot Chris down. Healthy is hot. Being in California, healthy is hot. But then you got all these healthy, hot men who are on the download, taking the disease back to the women and just being just trifling as all outdoors. Because I know a few of them that are just, I mean, not a few, but I know quite a bit of transgender people, and they talk about, they can point out people that they've slept with, and they be with their girlfriends or wives with kids and everything. So, you know, they look good, they healthy and all that, but they are sleeping around like trash dogs. And they got a thing called they got an app or something here. And so they just kind of nasty here in Atlanta. That's all.
But let me say this, Karima, since you knocked me down to the curb there. Let me say this, Karima. What I'm saying is that we just need to take care of ourselves to be healthy. I'm not saying get healthy and then go, you know, have sex with somebody when you just nasty. If they just nasty, they nasty. I agree with you. There's folk out there nasty. I know a friend who died because he was mad because he had it, and he went around the country giving it away before he died. And my friend contracted it, and she died. So no, I'm well aware of that. But I'm just saying we should still all try to be healthy, whether we're in California, Chicago, or Atlanta, and we should watch our habits and what we do to keep us healthy. Am I right?
They just nasty.
I agree.
Yeah, I believe they nasty.
They just nasty.
Okay, Ray.
Nasty.
Ray, okay, wait. Let's get Ray. Let's get Ray's take on this. Come on. Okay.
Yeah.
And we want to invite callers who may have a question to ask Ray. Ray, go ahead and tell us.
Jump into this conversation because my people will be like, why you didn't say this? And so I'm giving it. Well, everybody knows that Atlanta is second to Washington, D.C. with black gay men. So it will stand to reason that there will be some black men who are on the down low. Okay, that's a fact. But the reality is this. So let's talk about real talk and honest talk and not blaming talk. The reality is that the numbers of infected cases among women has decreased somewhere between 10 and 15%. It has decreased. You can check CDC. by 15%, okay? Maybe even 20. I haven't looked at the most recent, but with a year ago, they were saying 10 to 15% decrease in the new cases of women with HIV. So let's put that out there.
Okay.
And we do know that most women infected with HIV are African American. So African American women are the majority of cases of women infected with HIV. But there has been a decrease. So let's put a pin there, which means that women are hearing us. Women are taking control of their bodies. They're using condoms. They're getting tested. They're doing what they're supposed to do. That statistics show us.
Okay.
Atlanta's problem isn't men on the down low. Atlanta's problem is women who have sex with men who are on Tinder and they're having unprotected sex and they're infecting each other. The number of cases, the fact of the matter is, young black gay men are the largest rising cases of HIV in the United States of America. And we can put a hammer, a nail in there, and you can never kill 20 times.
Wow.
And so we need to begin to have some constructive conversations about why black gay men put themselves at risk for HIV. We need to be talking about PrEP, which is a 1 pill a day that prevents a person from getting HIV. And we need to get people into treatment and care, because a person who is infected and their viral load is undetectable cannot infect their partner. And so there are a lot of elements, but the download is a small portion of it. That's the old news.
Okay.
Women are not becoming infected at the rate that they used to be. Men who have sex with men are. And that's why all the money is going to PrEP right now to educate people that they don't have to get HIV. If they're going to have raw sex, that they can take 1 pill a day, that will prevent them from getting it.
Oh, really?
Absolutely. And so there is a 1 pill a day that you can take that prevents you from getting HIV. PrEP. I can have sex with you, Chris, and without a condom, and I will not infect you. And this is the kind of information that we need to start pushing so that people can get tested, because I can't treat you and get your viral load undetectable if you don't know you're infected.
Wow.
Well, I have to admit, I was one of those people, and Ray, you know this. I was like, I'm scared. I'd just rather not know. You know, if I'm gonna die, I'm gonna die anyway. But I dropped that attitude several years ago, and I went and got tested, because it's more important to know than to not know.
Absolutely, and I just got tested, a few months ago, and I love it.
I've been infected for 34 years with HIV, and I was infected in an era where there was no treatment and care. Now today we have over 30 HIV medications.
Yeah.
We have come so far. People are so behind in their thinking and accepting in the treatment and care of HIV that it's pathetic.
There was something you were telling me about when we ran into each other on the plane that I said people really need to know about. Okay.
You know, and that's what that's what
that is.
It's really remarkable. And so we have a lot of work to do, you know, and we got to ask ourselves in the black community, why are black people in, you know, why is, you know, sex important, why they put themselves at risk, you know, they just run away.
Well, do you?
You know, we immediately want to, okay, I'm going to get off that risk, but I just want my people to know that that was my conversation, because we need to keep the conversation in 2017. In 2017, there's a new conversation.
Do you think the church is a major factor, though, in why people are not getting the education that they need?
No. You know, when you think about, not really, when you think about I mean, I've spoken to so many churches across this country, Veronica. It's just unbelievable. There are churches that are doing the program. Now, mega churches, they ain't doing nothing. They ain't doing nothing about black people. Most of them are supporting Trump. And so we can't even